In an attempt to provide some content, we're going to try and do a little bit of a spiel on what we have going on in the shop every week and where our racing journeys are taking us. We're into the latter part of the summer during the 2020 COVID pandemic, which means that the entire racing season has been shuffled around and condensed into about 8 weeks, which has us going on the road consecutively for the next 6 weeks off or on. All the while, we have plenty of stuff going on in the shop, and we want to kind of provide a little bit more color about that stuff, and mostly we want to just tell people why these cars come here and what it is that we do to them, and maybe provide you guys with some tips that you can kind of shuffle into your bank when it comes to looking after these things, whether you're going to the racetrack or to the street, or whether it's date night, or you're just going out with friends, you know, cruising the canyons. Last week we went to Virginia International Raceway for the most recent round of the IMSA Michelin Pilot Challenge Series, and we had a great car. We were at the top of the sheets in practice on the first practice. In the second practice we were 5th. Both drivers had probably their best stints that they've ever run this season. Jan Halen did a fantastic job to close out the race. Starting driver Tom Collingwood did an amazing job. We were running first and then had to pit for fuel, and we were running 5th. You know, the thing that kind of held us back a little bit was that at Virginia in the summertime it's really hot, and it got to about 150 in the car, and our driver was, you know, somewhat fatigued by the heat. And what I like to tell my guys is that after every race we need to find any way we can to improve the car. So while we're going on the road to the World Challenge race at Road America in Wisconsin this week, we're also going to spend some time in the IMSA car trying to improve our driver cooling, because if we can reduce the cockpit temps by about 30 degrees, things will be a lot easier for Mr. Jan Halen when he's out there duking it in the front with the fast guys in the IMSA series. Like I said, we're on our way to Wisconsin for another round of World Challenge racing, and then we will go immediately to Road Atlanta for the next round of IMSA Michelin Pilot Challenge racing, and we have both of our Cayman GT4 Club Sports that run either series. All the while, here in the shop, we have plenty of projects going on. Over on the other side there, Hector is working on a Cayman GT4 Club Sport that came down from Myrtle Beach to get our standard round of upgrades that we give to every GT4 that is, you know, an intake upgrade in the form of either an IPD plenum or, in this case, a 718 GT4 Club Sport manifold, some tuning, some headers, and pretty much anything else we can think of to try and squeeze some more power out of that thing. And it's pretty much a DE car at the moment, but eventually it will progress into club racing. Behind me, we have a couple of Caymans that are here. This car's down from Alabama all the way from Vancouver. It's actually a car that we bought and built here about 8 years ago, and then a year or two after that it raced against us in the 24 Hours of Daytona, and it's gone to its most recent owner in Alabama, who sent it back to us to try and put it into the trim in which we race against it. Behind me is a 4-liter Cayman that is normally sleeping up at Speed Sport Tuning in Connecticut, which is a fantastic business that was started by a good friend of mine, Spencer Cox, who unfortunately passed away this winter, and I like to do anything I can to help those that have helped me. So we've made a home for this car where its owner is considering selling it and getting something a little bit more dual purpose. This is a full-blown race car with a cage and a 4-liter and everything you could possibly think of. So if you're looking for something like this and you don't want to spend $120,000 rebuilding it, call, because this one's well maintained and very much for sale. Our biggest project right now in the shop is this yellow 991 race car that we're building, that is an attempt to kind of make what Porsche did with the Cayman GT4 Club Sport, which is a race car that has the street-based engine, the street-based 911 3.8-liter DFI engine, and the street-based Cayman, because we love to show that Porsches right out of the box, right out of the showroom, can go to the racetrack and be endurance cars with, you know, as little prep as desired or as much. And they're phenomenal cars, and this is a car that we're building for a local customer that will eventually go to club racing, and in the middle, somewhere in the interim, will be used for driver training. So whether or not you want to follow along, I'm going to make you. We'll try and be interesting. We'll try and keep it unique. We'll try and keep it short. Every episode after this will be shorter, and I want to say thanks to everybody for supporting us, and we hope you like what we have to say.